stream, bring her picture up, start the music.
And we're live.
Woman radio show going by postal today. Yay! We even wore our t-shirts for the occasion.
I am the Western Woman.
My name is Jocelyn. Welcome to the show. This is my dear friend Elaine. She's the one, you know, the Ed McMahon to my Johnny Carson. And we're so excited to do this collaboration, our first one today. So thanks for bearing with our technical issues as we got everything all lined up. We are now partnered up with Roscoe Media Center in Los Angeles, California. How does it get any better than that? Seriously, so excited. And, you know, I'll just fill in some people here who may be watching and listening to the show for the very first time. You may be wondering, what is I Am the Western Woman all about?
I was just wondering the same thing.
I know there may be other people wondering that as well. So I better fill you and everyone else in. I was hoping you would. So I Am the Western Woman was inspired truly by a statement made by the Dalai Lama at the 2009 Vancouver Peace Summit, where he said, the world will be saved by the Western woman. And, you know, I wasn't there, so I didn't get a chance to go and check out with him and ask him what he meant by that. But I must admit, one night, I was lying on a hot summer night, looking at a strange ceiling and a strange bed in Las Vegas, Nevada, way out in the desert. I know it sounds kind of seedy.
Sounds like Jim Morrison.
Yeah, leaving Las Vegas or something. But truly, I was actually in my friend's spare bedroom, and her daughter, who was only 4, was across the hall. It really wasn't that seedy. Anyways, my point is, when this statement actually just came to me, and I thought, you know, well, what does he mean by that? And how does that impact my life as a woman here in the Western world? Is he talking about something specific, a way of being in the world, something that we're going to do that's so special and magical? And to me, I realized for me what that meant was living fully as me, stepping up into what I am here to be. You can call that purpose, you can call it you know, sharing your greatest gift, whatever that means. I like to call it oomph, sharing your oomph, whatever that is from the deepest part within you that you are here to share. And when I took it that way, and that was my translation, I realized that he was speaking about everyone. He wasn't just speaking about women who happen to live in North America and westernized society. He was speaking about everyone, and not even just the women. He was speaking to everyone who is even impacted by any woman who comes to this place in her life where she realizes who she is and how she's here to move in the world. And this is not about, you know, becoming successful in corporate society, climbing that corporate ladder. This is not about, having your name splashed all over billboards. This is about how you show up. And if it's how you do the dishes and mother your children, if it's how you take care of people working as a nurse, if it's how you write a novel, or like our guests today, start a business or show up in film and television, that's what it's all about. And so then the men, which we love, they step into their own as they see the women show up the way that they are, and we activate each other. And so it's super exciting. One of the things that I say is, how far around the world do you have to go in a westerly direction before it becomes east? So we're not talking about women from a particular geographic area either at all. Sometimes it is easier, I feel, to step into that fullness of who you are when you have privilege in terms of perhaps financial stability, education, and things like that. But we're all here to help each other step into that. So that's what's very exciting for me.
And I also like it too that one of the main things that you do on the show is you ask everybody what they think. What do they think that the Dalai Lama meant by the world would be saved by the Western women? And as we've said before, with 7 billion people in the world, you'll have 7 billion answers.
Absolutely.
And it's constantly evolving.
And I'm planning to interview each and every one of them.
At least once.
So at least one time.
I have to get a bigger hard drive.
Yes. And then hopefully the Dalai Lama himself. And we can find out from him, from the horse's mouth, literally, what that meant. So thank you for joining us, those of you who have listened in on the show before, those of you who are brand new, those of you who are just finding out about us through our new partnership with Roscoe Media Center. And we're, like I said, a little excited about this. So we shall segue now into our guest that we have every week. When we do this show, we bring in a guest either into the studio or we do a call-in. And give me that again.
Okay, you can use your Skype.
Oh no, I'm all good.
Great.
No, and then we do a call-in with someone. We have spoken to people all over North America who have called in for the show. And today, because we have this beautiful setup, we have two guests in studio in Los Angeles, California, on Pico Boulevard even, and speaking to us all the way from Canada. So my first guest that I want to talk to, I'm going to introduce both of these amazing women to you. We're going to speak with Natalie first. And I asked Natalie to be on the show for a number of reasons. One, because I think she is the epitome of what I'm speaking about with the Western woman. Natalie, I met just a couple of years ago. And since I met her, everything that I have seen Natalie do has just been about stepping up more and more fully into who she's here to be. She is an entrepreneur above and beyond anything else, but she is also a visionary. She is a amazing artist in her own right. She shows up and does what she says she's going to do. And every time I see her, it amazes me more and more and more what she's creating. And her latest endeavor that she is stepping into is something called Teach Me-O. And I'm not going to get too far into it, and we're going to let Natalie tell you what it's all about. But to me, this is Natalie creating a platform for other people to actually express their own. So, Natalie Novoa, we are so excited to have you on the show today. Thank you so much for joining us. Yay!
Thank you so much for having me, Jocelyn. I'm really excited to be on this first bi-coastal radio show, and it's really, really exciting. Very, very excited to be here.
I'm so pumped. Because I've been in the studio there, I can picture you guys there. We can actually see you on screen, and there you are. So excited. And you've got your Teach Me-O t-shirt on. Yay.
Teach Me-O.
So tell us a little bit, Natalie, about what Teach Me-O is all about and how this came to you.
Well, Teach Me-O is an online marketplace and community where anyone who wants to learn and or teach anything, any skill that they have, that they love doing, can do. And so they're able to set their own hours, they're able to set their pricing, and then they teach it via live one-on-one video. So, and that's something that has, has become possible now with this video technology advancing more and more these days. So it's all very, very exciting. And the idea basically came around, me and my band were sitting around going, how the hell do we make money, And my drummer Kai says, wouldn't it be great to actually, be able to survive in this world teaching what you love? And so it came, and it stemmed from that, and then, kind of grew from there. But yeah, it was just, amazing, beautiful minds thinking all at once, and this is what came up.
So this is taking distance education to a whole new level.
Oh, definitely. No, I mean, one of the biggest things that I say is, you can learn chanting from a Gregorian monk, or French from somebody in France, or
do that.
Right? I would do that too. I know. It's really cool.
Is the Gregorian monk on the faculty yet?
You know what? I mean, I saw an amazing documentary about how advanced. I mean, you usually think Gregorian monks, and you think of, they're isolated, and but they have their own graphic department. They have like computers. They have, and I was like, ooh, teach me. I could have these guys teaching on there, and they do teach chanting. So yeah.
I remember seeing a picture of the Dalai Lama on a cell phone, and there was just something really odd about it.
It's where we're moving.
Well, exactly. We're all stepping into the new paradigm here, right? How amazing is it? So Teach Mio is it's, as I said, to me, it's a platform for people who are is all about allowing people to bring their skill set. There's so many people who have something to share in the world and may not have the technology. Like, I mean, I got to admit myself, I just want to be able to push a button and have everything happen.
So you pretty much do.
Well, that is what I do. But you're setting up possibility for people to be able to share what they have to bring en masse.
Yeah. And basically what's amazing about Teach Mio is that we provide the whole platform for these teachers and students. So yeah, you literally, Jocelyn, will be able to just click a button and, be teaching anything that you'd like, to anyone in the world, which is what is more exciting about it. So yeah, we bring the whole platform. So it's not like you're going to be doing it through Skype. We actually have that integrated in our system, as well as the payment. So, there's less risk for both the student and the teacher. So it's a really great platform.
That's fantastic. Okay, so walk me through the process here, Nat, because I know that there's, for instance, I teach yoga, and I know that there are other websites that you can sign up and you can go through. How is Teach Mio different?
Well, a lot of these websites have a lot of pre-recorded material, or they do a lot of webinars. And the difference between that is, of course, pre-recorded materials are never going to cater to what your skill level is, and it will never be customized for what you needed specifically. And when you're put in with a webinar, a situation, say there's 1,000 people on the line, and so then your questions don't get answered. And so there's less customization personalized specifically for you. So basically, I mean, like you were saying the other day, I love having one-on-ones. Well, this is exactly what you're going to be able to do, and you'll be able to do these one-on-ones with, and be able to cater to that person and their specific needs and wants live from anywhere in the world.
That's fantastic. What Nat is referring to is that I posted something on my Facebook the other day about how I love doing one-on-one sessions with people. And right now, because I live in London, Ontario, in Canada, I'm a little bit restricted in terms of doing that with people live. But something like Teach Mio would open that up for me in a way get would just, I mean, really, the world would be my oyster.
Mm-hmm.
Right, exactly. Yeah, there's so many different possibilities. So you're literally not just restricted to the teachers in your local area. And, for some people, I mean, let's say you want to learn crochet. Let's say you want to learn burlesque. I mean, anything that you can think of, but you're in a city or a small town that doesn't have these specific skills, and access. And yeah, definitely. I mean, when you have Teachmill, you can basically go in, type in what you want to learn, and then basically, go through all the teachers. You can read the reviews, you can see their education, everything. Watch a little intro video, all that kind of stuff, and then make your decision on what and who you want to go with. But I mean, it will be national in first, and then international in the later stages. So we're really excited about that we get to interact, and it's all about community too. So I mean, new friends, these are ultimately they'll be your teachers, but they're also hopefully become friends as well.
So you're like a pioneer.
Elaine wants to learn burlesque.
Yeah, well,
I'm just thinking too that wow, what a great carbon footprint to leave. You can do everything through Skype. It's so environmentally friendly to do everything over online. It's just going to make the planet that much better. I know when I take a lot of courses, I have to travel down to New York or Massachusetts or anything. Mm-hmm. Now I just have to walk from, I get up in the morning and I plug my computer in and boom, it's there. Right? Like it's just going to be amazing.
Yeah, and I mean that's what's making it happen is these new web technologies. We're using WebRTC, which is very fairly new, but it's a little bit better quality than Skype as well, and so it's fair. All these different browsers are acquiring it, so you can use it through Chrome now, and you can also use it through Firefox that just came out with WebRTC as well. So it's going to be really amazing, and it's only going to get better. The quality is always going to get better too. And we're also talking about integrating more than one camera, so you'll be able to use more than one camera for your lessons as well. We'll have that integrated into our system as well.
That is fantastic. Now, Nat, I explained a little bit about how the inspiration came to me for this I Am the Western Woman project, and I wondered where the inspiration for you came for Teachmeo and this kind of a platform.
Well, like I said, we sat around with the band and we're talking about what inspires us and what we could do to sustain ourselves in this universe. And my drummer was like, it'd be great if we can just teach and make ends meet just by teaching what we love. And how do we make that accessible, and how do we make that accessible to everybody, and not just locally but around the world? And then this platform kind of the idea of this platform came to fruition, and literally just started mingling with in tech meetups. I'm like, where do I start? So I was like, okay, well, here's meetup.com. Let's start going to all these tech meetups, because where am I going to meet a developer? I don't know how to code anything. So, and one thing led to another, and a year later, here we are. I've got an amazing team. Brad Crystal, who's worked with, he was an executive with Activision and Apple, and our new CTO, Tom Walpole, who's amazing, has been working with startups, has done software, has done pretty much everything. So we finally got an amazing team, and getting ready to launch a closed beta at the end of summer. So we're really excited.
That is so exciting. So you started this without any background in how to build a platform like this, or any of the coding on the website, or anything at all. You just dove right in. Right.
I mean, I had a 9-to-5 job, and which I loved, and I was really inspired by my CEO. He had started this company from nothing. I mean, he used to be a flight attendant. And so, and so he really inspired me to do this. And so one day I said, look, I want to do what you do. And I literally dove in. And I mean, I started that with the photo studio. I started with my partner, but it's gone up from there. And so we want to change the world. We want to change the world for the better. We want to change the world to, help people learn. I mean, I believe we're put on this planet to learn. you know, and so. And learn from each other. And every day you learn something different. And not only learn, but also give. So I think it's amazing. And the more people know and are aware, I believe the better this world is going to be. And it could start with skills, like crochet or whatever, but it could be anything. How to build a well, in Africa. It literally, my long-term views for Teach Me are a lot bigger than what they sound like right now.
They already sound expansive, Nat. And, love that this came out of you just looking for a solution, essentially, for a way that you wanted to live your life. I reading your bio here, Nat studied graphic, interior, industrial architecture, photography, landscape architecture, design. Yeah. Spent most of her lunches learning Photoshop, photography. You could teach everything.
I'm a jack of all trades, definitely, yeah. I can teach a little bit of all that, for sure. For sure.
That is so fantastic. Now, how is this launching right now? Is this getting out to the world just through social media? How are you putting this out there? Because I know a lot of people, even myself, and Elaine and I have talked about this, how do we get the word out there that we have the ability to access millions upon millions of people through the internet, and it's just a matter of finding that little niche. And you see these videos that go viral and things like that. What are your thoughts on that? How are you getting it out there?
Well, it was funny. I just got asked this question today when I went to a previous meeting with Be Great Partners today. But we're partnering up with all these associations for these niches. So, for instance, for crochet, there's the Crochet Guild of America. Anything, the Photography Guild, the Poker Guild, anything, any skill that you want to learn. There's associations, all over the place. And so, one of the ways that we're doing is to get teachers and students is partnering up with these organizations, and they already have followers. They already have all these people, and also all these niches, these particular skills have specific followings. Like, for instance, crochet has over 38 million people in the nation that crochet. Yeah, it's incredible, right? When you start doing the research, you start figuring out, wow, 38 million people crochet. That's 1 in 3 people, And then you go and you have over 56,000 blogs that are just based on crochet. And so basically, we're going to be targeting these specific, exactly, outlets and associations and organizations, and where these people are already going. And so. Of course, good SEO is good.
I was kind of thinking like a crochet dating hotline. Like, I don't know, that's like a lot of people.
No, definitely, and that's just crochet. There's everything. We're going to start with a couple of them. Crochet is one of them. Sushi making, because we wanted to be kind of broad. We didn't want to just stick with crafts. Photography, sign language is a big one. Speech therapy. So, it could be anything, basically. It could be anything. And you can get creative. People, initially what I thought was crochet. That might be really hard to video. But you go on YouTube and there's over 250,000 videos on crochet, and everybody's doing is already doing this. Doing it. They're already doing this kind of stuff. So, and crochet is what I use as an example, as one of the niches. But there's thousands and thousands of hobbies and skills that people know out there. We're going to be focusing on everything, software driven or, IE and IQ driven. So, all of them.
And the other thing, Nat, is that so many people, they work really hard. There's a lot of people who they have the 9-to-5 gig going on, and they work really hard, and they don't make time for their hobbies. Mm-hmm. It's because they're up at the crack of dawn. Yeah. They get home at dusk, and they just don't even have the energy to go out and take a class somewhere. Mm-hmm. So you're opening up an opportunity for these people who may have a hobby that they would like to delve into.
They've given it up already.
But they've given it up because they just don't feel like they have time.
Yeah, I mean, and that's one of the things too. I mean, I was taking a drum class, and I mean, even though the drum class was like probably about 5 or 6 miles from my house, I still, that was one of the biggest things. I was like, I mean, I know, yeah, people are getting a little lazy. We got to get up there, right? We got to get out and walk and do all this stuff. But I was like, well, I don't know. I don't have to drive in the middle of traffic, and 5 miles, 6 miles can be, 45 minutes. So, but yeah, I mean, that's one of the
storms and the rural community,
that's one of the biggest things too, as well as customization and not just being restricted to your local teachers.
Mm-hmm. I love it.
Which is fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and I know LA traffic.
Yeah.
Getting anywhere, especially, at the end of the day. I remember the first time I went to LA, and I went there and I was all gung-ho. Well, the first time I went there to do any work, and I was all gung-ho, and I made my list of all the places I was going to go. And I got in my car, and I think I hit the 405 and I started crossing places off my list. Because I was just like, I'm not going to get even to my first place until an hour after I'm supposed to be there. You start working with traffic. You start working with traffic in LA. I mean, I was the same when I first moved here. But then you start doing all this stuff in traffic. Now that you have the little thing, earpieces, you can just be like, you know what, I'm going to call my grandma. I'm going to make this meeting call, and I'm going to make this. And you just start doing all these things that you could have just waited to do at home. But, now you're in traffic. So why not make the time, worth it? Sounds like a great plan. Now, will there be opportunity for your teachers to, bring on board if they have any literature or, they have ebooks or anything that they are bringing to the plate? Is that something that will
teaching tools?
Yeah. Well, that's we're in phase 1 now, getting ready to do beta, the closed beta. But what we want to do, we did think about that. We think about if you had things like an ebook or crochet stuff you wanted to sell or anything that we would supply a platform for that as well. But little by little, I think we're gonna start little and then end with a bang. So,
but the teachers are able to supply a materials list and PDFs.
Oh, so you meant? Oh, okay. I thought you meant for sale. Yes, of course. Yes, of course.
That too, though. Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
So that it can expand into something where you have a shopping cart on Teach Me.
Yeah, well, that's what I thought you were referring to. But no, yes. For instance, I sign up for a class. You get the request. You check out the student because, of course, if you don't have the time or maybe you don't like the student, I don't know, whatever. You get to either discuss it with them, accept it, or deny the request. If you accept the request, then you can go ahead and send them the specific notes or PDFs or prerequisites for the class. Like, hey, I need you to look at this video before you come to the class. I need you to do this, and you can send that all through TeachMeo. And so then, and then they'll be ready. So let's say you want to teach a guitar class. So you'll send them, and they specifically asked, I want to learn, Come As You Are by Nirvana. So, okay, great. You send them, the tabs, the tablature. You send them the list of tools that they need. Of course, they might need a pick. They might need a guitar, right? And so the student has a list and everything that they need for the class. So you prepare that for them. And they're ready to go when you have your lesson.
Very cool.
I love the fact that she's teaching. I love that you got inspired by your boss, who was a flight attendant, started this whole business. And then you're, like you said, I love the fact that you're learning and then you're sharing what you learned. So,
integrating
really
everything.
There. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, we're going to just take a short break here, and then we're going to come back and we're going to talk a little more to Nat, and then we're going to introduce her sidekick in the studio there, who is not just a sidekick but a partner, Eddie Daniels, and we're going to find out what collaborative things they're doing together, and a couple fun projects that Eddie is also bringing to the table. So we'll see you in just a couple minutes on I Am the Western Woman.
Just another star is all you are. For goodness sake, the good in you, fusing heart to heart, reach only the good in you. All that you do to want only the best for you. Give it all to start. Takes all that we are. Just another star. I see the good in you. No fear can pull us apart. I see the good in you. A beacon through the dark. I see the good in you. Oh, just another star is all you are. Just another star. I see the good in you. No fear can pull us apart. I see the good in you. A beacon through the dark. I see the good in you. Oh, just another star is all you want. Just another star. Oh, just another star. Is all you just another star.
Welcome back to I Am the Western Woman. There you are. Welcome back. Are we back? I think we might be back.
Hello.
I think we're back. Welcome back to I Am the Western Woman. For those of you who are just tuning in, we are broadcasting by coastal today from London, Ontario, and Canada over Skype with Elaine and I in our I Am the Western Woman t-shirts. And in studio in Los Angeles with Natalie Navoa and Eddie Daniels, who we are about to just meet in more depth here. Nat, I just wanted to tap in with you before we move on to Eddie. One of the questions that we ask all of our guests is about that statement that this whole show is inspired by, the world will be saved by the Western woman, and what that means to you, and what you think that perhaps the Dalai Lama meant by that when he spoke that.
Well, I loved your rendition of it. I thought that was really great. And I love the oomph, because everybody has an oomph, right? But
Yes.
but I feel like and even with this, 2012 transition into 2013, that the universe is moving into more of a female consciousness, and that doesn't necessarily mean that women are going to rule, like you were saying, but that it is moving from a more male consciousness driven.
And men are becoming more in touch with their feelings.
Right, and men are becoming more in touch with their that feminine aspect and feminine side. So it's not basically, like you were saying, not just about the women are going to rule, but we're all going to get in touch with that feminine consciousness and aspect of ourselves to move this world into a higher vibration and a much better place for sure. And I think that's what I meant.
I agree with you entirely, and I feel like what that is coming from more of a communal kind of space as opposed to something really linear. And it's we were actually just talking about on our break about the music that just played, which Elaine had not heard. Later, she had not heard the whole song. She had only heard the beginning of it, and when that is Cy Curran and Jan Arden who are singing that song, and it's so nice when you bring in that masculine and feminine balance. And so, kudos to both of them for that song. But bringing in more of a communal feel in the world that is like a receiving energy. So then we have more to offer up.
Yeah, right, exactly. And I think it's just we've just started. It's only the beginning of that. But I do believe that it's going to spread. I mean, the love is going to go. Like the love's going to spread. It's going to just infest people with all this amazing love, and hopefully the world will become a little bit of a better place. Less wars, more peace, more love.
I agree. It reminds me of, I was saying there's more feminine energy in the men today. And I see that more and more. Currently, I'm dating a man who's, I think they refer to it as metrosexual, and people that are more in touch with the softness, feminine energy. And I see it more and more. My daughter is dating somebody who has a lot of feminine energy as well. And she said to me, "Mom, they make the best boyfriends. It's like having a girlfriend." Like with benefits, okay? It's like the best. And I could see that. Do you guys not see a lot of males that are, really in touch with their feminine side now, but are, they're straight, but that are more in touch, right?
Yeah, and it doesn't necessarily
I see it all over the place.
It doesn't necessarily mean. I mean, yes, there's a lot of metrosexual guys. I mean, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they're feminine in any way. It just means.
Right.
They're just in touch with that aspect. They could still be real macho but still have that.
Well, George Clooney, he's a metrosexual. When I said to my boyfriend, I was like, he's like, well, I'll take that as a compliment because George Clooney's a metrosexual. Rap artists are metrosexual. They're more interested. They're taking better care of their hair and their looks and doing different things, right? So,
and that's just the outward piece. And in fact, what I would describe it as is finding a balance.
Right.
Mm-hmm. That yin-yang balance that we can all find. And, and it really has been out of balance. It's been very linear, very... if you want to use the word, I'm not that big on the word patriarchal, but it has been somewhat patriarchal, if that's how you want to describe it, in our world, which has not allowed for, one of our guests, we spoke about having more women in government in order to balance that out. Yeah. And there was some word about a female Ministry of Defense and how that would change everything that had to do with the defense industry in the entire world if there was a female Minister of Defense.
And you see it in different countries. I mean, I'm originally from Argentina. We've got a female president, and I thought out of all the countries, Argentina is very patriarchal. I never ever thought that they would have a female president before the U.S. And but you're seeing that everywhere, and
Brazil has one too.
Brazil has one too, yeah, and Brazil too, yeah. So I mean, it's pretty cool, It's whether they're good or not, I don't know, but but yeah, that feminine consciousness is definitely out there, and I think it's contagious in a good way.
And times are changing. And again, it's not a war of the genders or of the sexes or anything like that. It's bringing it all together. And speaking about bringing it all together, a little segue into the beautiful woman sitting beside you, who, among other things, has been your partner in your in business and in your life. But Eddie Daniels, who is also a dear friend of mine, in her own right, has created platforms for change in the world through her work that she's done in movies. I'm just pulling up her bio here. Eddie has been in over 40 films. Yeah, by the way, if you pull up EddieDaniels.com,
Ba-boom.
ba-boom. But Eddie is an actress. Eddie, as a friend in my life, what I have found about Eddie is that anything that Eddie puts her mind to, she takes all the way and gives it her all. And so one of the things that she's working on right now that I love is something called Douche Alert as well. Eddie, I just want you to tell us what Douche Alert is all about, because when you explained it to me, I thought, wow, this is so amazing, because it sounds kind of like, what's that all about? But it's actually the nicest thing you could do for people who don't realize what douches they are.
Yeah, it's kind of like.
Can you tell us a little?
Yeah, okay. So, Douche Alert is a comedic and fun and lighthearted way of letting people know when they're displaying douche-like behavior. It all started.
Could you explain what a douche-like behavior is, just for an example?
Well, see, like. Everybody is an unintentional douche at some point in their life. Everyone displays some kind of douche-like behavior, whether it's intentional or not, at different times in their lives. And this all started with a learn how to park card. Douchey behavior, such as taking up two spaces when your car should only be taking up one, or blocking someone's driveway. Here is the Douche Alert Learn to Park card. So, see, you would just check off the offense of the douchey behavior and put this on their dash, on their windshield, and then when they receive the card, on the other side is redeem yourself. So now, then they would go to this URL, the douchealert.com/karma, and they can donate to one of 4 charities to balance their douchey karma and bring themselves back to human status.
How great is
I
that?
love it.
So that's how it started, but then we quickly realized that douchebaggery extends to many other areas of life as well. So.
Oh, really? Really? Not
Yeah.
I know
notice.
anyone for bars, like when you go to bars and things like that. I'm sure she has something like that.
We do have some of those in the works. Absolutely. The next one that we designed, that Natalie designed, actually, she did all the design work for Douche Alert. The next one that came up was actually a Mind Your Dog Douche Alert card for pet owners who, dog off leash, aggressive behavior, biting, leg humping, things like that. And then came a Respect Thy Neighbor card
Oh, very
for
nice.
various offenses, loud, crappy music, littering, snooping, and then
Visible nudity.
came.
Although that might be nice.
Please put mine.
Work on relationships. We're working on a second work on relationships card, because we've heard that this one is a little more all about male douche behavior and not so much about female douche behavior, which we've been made aware that there is a lot of female douche behavior. So we're working on that card. And then
Yeah.
yeah,
It's
the
all about
balance. And then the neighborly confession card. This is the one that is, I'm sorry, I'm a douche. So you warn your neighbors. You warn your neighbors ahead of time if you're having a party or if you're going to have construction, and you put your phone number there and you ask them, you request that they call you before they call the cops.
Do you know what? I used to be a
What a great
mediator
idea.
in college. I was a mediator for our complex, that the neighbors would call me before they called the cops. And that was over 25 years ago. I don't know. So it was a couple years ago. But that's exactly what that was. But I would like to order 100 of those I'm sorry for my neighbors cards right now.
They're in the mail as we speak.
Lane has a backyard pool with a party shack out there, so
Nice.
I love that idea.
that is so awesome, Eddie. So awesome.
And I have one from my Catholic church so that I can just say I'm sorry for it, and I can just check off the back and I can give it to the priest as opposed to going to confession.
That's a great idea.
Absolutely. I like that. Definitely. Natalie, let's
Everything
get on
I've
that
ever
one.
done. Yeah, I love it.
So Eddie, if people, it's such a great idea, because there's sometimes that people don't realize what douches they're being, and there's other times, and you know, like, I mean, you want to leave a note for somebody, but you can't find a pen or a piece of paper,
Yeah.
and you know, but just to say that, and to have them be able to redeem themselves. I love that it's connected up with a charitable karma, you know, retribution, and that, so it benefits everyone all across the board. It benefits the person so they can get their frustration out. It benefits the person who's the douche so they know that they're a douche, and it benefits the charities.
Yeah.
How great is that?
Yeah. We have 4 charities right now on the Douche Alert site. One is Global Green USA, IFAW, Oxfam, and Save the Children. So those are
What's the second charity? I've heard of that one.
IFAW. IFAW does a lot of stuff with animals. You know, like when all those dolphins got their sonar got thrown off and they got washed up onto shore. IFAW is a charity that will actually mobilize teams and go immediately and save as many as they can, and they actually even videotape a lot of their efforts, so you can see where your money's going and you can see the animals actually being saved. They did another thing with elephants in Africa, and they're great.
Wow.
We handpicked those charities.
I have another suggestion for your cards. Can we have one for mothers?
Oh, we
I'm
thought
sorry,
about
Mom,
that. But
like-
mothers have a lot on their plate, and we thought, you know, if mothers with small children are already kind of stressed out, it might be really tough. Or do you mean one that mothers can give to their children?
Right.
Maybe ones that mothers
Well, I
can give
would
to
say
their
like
children.
I would say, I'm sorry, mother. I've been a douche for this, and that.
Oh, yeah,
You know?
that
Give
kids
them to
can
your
give.
teenage
So
kids.
I can give it to my mother for when I don't call her enough, or you know, if I don't know, if
I
I did
love
something
that.
wrong, because you know your mother's like, you should have been doing this and this and that, and guilt trip and all that stuff. So I can say, I'm sorry, I'm a douche.
I love that. I'm writing that down right now.
Okay, darling.
That is
So
perfect.
Eddie, if people want to order to get these cards, they can just go to douchealert.com. Yes?
Yes. douchealert.com. You
Very-
can order, and we send out actually a sampler pack with each order, so you can
Oh, great.
order like the Learn How to Park cards are the most popular, but then the general Don't Be a Douche cards are actually really popular too. Our friends take these all the time because they like to give them to their friends at bars or in social situations, kind of as a joke, you know. It's kind of a fun thing for even at a dinner party, or, you know, so that's another popular one. But so you can buy 25 packs, you can buy variety packs, and then we also send you a little sampler pack.
T-shirts.
Oh, and there's T-shirts as well. The T-shirts are popular. Don't Be a Douche and 100% Douche T-shirts.
Very cool. So people can order those as well.
Yes.
douchealert.com.
All right, we're going to take just one more little break, and then we're going to come back, find out a little bit more about what Eddie's got going on, and get all the contact information so everybody can be on track with getting on to learn or teach on TeachMeo, and to also start letting everybody in the world know who's a douche. So we're going to take a little break, and then we'll be right back with the ladies, Eddie and Nat. Western Woman, welcome for our little final segment here. Eddie, I want to just, before we run out of time, I want to talk to you a little bit about what you've got going on and how you are showing up as the Western woman in the world, because I know you are doing it full blown. Are you there?
Yeah, there I am.
Yeah, there's.
There I am.
Oh, there you are.
Hey.
Did you hear me?
Yes, I did. Yes, well, first and foremost, I'm an actress, www.eddiedaniels.com. And I just finished a project called Crazy Bitches, which is a horror film which should be doing the festivals starting this next 2014, January 2014. And then, what?
By director Jane Clark.
Oh, by director Jane Clark. And then, what else? I'm a photographer. I'm a photographer at the Little Room Studio. Apparently my hair's a mess.
That's right around the corner, actually, from the Roscoe Media Center there in LA.
What's that?
I said that your studio is right around the corner from Roscoe Media Center there in LA.
Yeah, which, by the way, Roscoe Radio has really dope studios. Like, this is so nice. I'm so impressed.
So dope.
Yeah, everybody should tweet to Roscoe Radio, Roscoe's Radio, because this is like some amazing stuff here. They are hooked up. They've got all the bells and whistles. It's wonderful.
Oh, yeah. They've got a great setup there. I was very fortunate to be on Michael Collier's show a couple weeks ago, and I was so impressed when I came in there. That's how this connection all came, from being on that show. So they're really about bringing as much as possible. And when I had a conversation with the visionary behind all of this, Larry, he really spoke to what even I Am the Western Woman is all about how people showing up in the way that they are here to be in the world in their fullness and their greatness. And
definitely,
you know, Eddie, I know that the work that you do on these films, that you're incredibly involved, not just in front of the camera, but also behind the scenes and part of the creative team. And so you're showing up there full on.
Yeah. I don't take the projects lightly at all. When I'm cast in a film, I definitely set out to try and help be a part of it in as many positive ways as I can, and to also try and just make each project the best thing that it can be. So yeah, I pour a lot of efforts in the direction of any project that I'm involved in.
Very cool. I am so excited to speak with both of you. When I have stayed in Los Angeles and I find my way into your beautiful abode, and there's always amazing and creative people around. It's like Eddie and Nat are magnets for people who are out in the world sharing their own in an enormous way. People from all over the place. Right now there's two amazing women, one from France and one also from Argentina, via Barcelona. There's a young guy there who's doing an internship he's from New York and he's in Los Angeles, and always incredible people, musicians and photographers and people who are working behind the scenes in the film and the movie industry, people who are doing things like Eddie and Nat are doing, just stepping up fully and creating platforms for other people to do that. This whole collaborative thing, I think both of you are really all about that. Speaking to the collaborative.
Speaking of collaborating.
As Western women.
Speaking of collaborating, when are we going to get you in the studio, Jocelyn?
Well,
say the word.
All you have to do is ask.
Yeah, next time you're in town, we definitely have to photograph you.
Go on, start away. Oh, yeah. Running up the door to LA right now. Actually, and as you know, the last time I was there, I did get into another friend's studio and did a little photo shoot. So it's happening. It's happening. And, you know, LA is like it's like a hot spot for all of that. You know, I know that it's a creative center in terms of media and entertainment, but I'm learning more and more how it's also, it's like an incubator for people like ourselves who are expanding and growing in every moment of every day. Share their own. So we'd like to invite everyone to go to teachmeo.com and visit Natalie at teachmeo.com if you'd like more information about that. Natalie, is that the best way for people to connect with you?
Yeah, Teachmeo. That's TEACHMEO.com. Teach me with an O at the end. And then they can go ahead and sign up for the beta, the closed beta coming out in the end of the summer.
Beautiful. And to reach Eddie with douchealert.com or eddiedaniels.com for all of her creative endeavors and to let everyone in your world know when they're being a douche.
Yeah, and if you sign up on the Douche Alert website, you'll be invited to the Douche Alert launch party that we're having next month.
How exciting. Douche Alert launch party. I want to be there for that.
And what's the screenshot?
And then, of course, we have the I Am the Western Woman website at www.iamthewesternwoman.com. Thank you so much, both of you. Biggest hugs and love to you. And I'll see you in August when I'm back out on the West Coast. Thank you for joining us and for sharing everything that you are doing. And thank you to Larry and the crew at Roscoe Media Center. And we'll see you all soon at I Am the Western Woman.
Yay!
Woo!